Everybody, we're still in Proverbs 16 today, looking at verse 28. A dishonest man spreads strife, and a whisperer separates close friends. A dishonest man spreads strife, and a whisperer separates close friends. You know, we could apply this to ourselves, to being those that are the ones that are going to separate close friends, but I want to today focus on being the ones that put a stop to other people doing this. We always need to be on the lookout for those that want to separate us from people that we have close relationships with, people that we love. We find these people in our families. Sometimes there's a cousin, or there's an aunt, or a sister, or a mother, or dad who is always looking to stir something up. Very often this is a person that's frustrated in their life. They don't really feel like they're getting anywhere. And so the way that they make their life feel important is they feel like they've always got to be whispering to you, hey, so-and-so said this, don't you know about that? And I wouldn't want you to be surprised, so I'm going to tell you. And all of a sudden they seem very important because they're close to everybody. But what they're doing is they're separating people. Maybe they just get bored. And every holiday they're going to try and start something. We see people like this at work. You know, there's that guy that's always telling you about, they're talking about making some changes and you're on the list. Or, the boss that wants to try to talk about the boss above him and try to get you on his team and play these weird games. Or there are people like that. You might not even go out of your way to find them. They just show up at your desk. Or you're having a ride in the truck with them that day. I don't know, but they're out there. You find these people in church, unfortunately. You find these people that want to talk about the pastor, or you know what they did, or this home fellowship leader doesn't really like this person, and that's why they're not hanging out anymore, and we shouldn't schedule them together because they don't like each other. And all of a sudden, why not? Well, because I'll tell you, I didn't know they did that, and now you're looking at this person in a negative way. These people are everywhere. They're online, right? Social media. There's people that want to do this, not even for your personal relationships, but even for people that you support and care about and love, figures that you follow, whether this is leaders like governors and presidents, whether this is people like your pastor, or even just authors and people that you respect and look up to. There are always those that want to separate people. Whisperers, he calls them, a dishonest man. So you've got to be the one to put a stop to this. You've got to be the one that does not listen to conversations like that. And this is a difficult thing to do, especially if you're like me and you're a nice person and you don't want to be rude to the one in the moment who's trying to talk to you about something going on. Or maybe because you're just curious and you really want to know, well, I don't want to be caught off guard if something like that happens. I'm not going to look down on them any less. But listen, once someone has said something to you about someone you love, especially if it's something that might directly affect you, we say foolish things. We're out having fun, and you've made a joke about somebody that you truly love, and then you walk away, you go, I wish I hadn't said that. That wasn't very kind. And, you don't want to come out and tell the person that you were talking poorly about them, but if it ever got back, you wouldn't want everybody to know everything you've said about them. So when you hear the things people have said about you, it's going to sit in your brain, and it's going to come out later. So you'll be the one to put a stop to it. You don't need to hear what's going on negatively about other people. Now, if you're in a position of responsibility where you've got to hear things like that, that's one thing. But I've been in those positions for most of my life in some form or another. Most of the time, the things that people want to share are irrelevant. Okay, that might have been something that was unkind, or it wasn't good, or that was dishonest. That doesn't always mean that you've got to do something about it. This is what poor leaders do. Poor leaders feel the need to intervene every time something goes wrong or is just less than ideal. You be the one to say, look, unless you're going to make me think better of this person by the end of this conversation, I don't want to hear about it. Sometimes you can't avoid it and it comes to you. Well, you can be a cul-de-sac for that kind of thing. You don't want to be a freeway for gossip. You want to be a place where it stops. You want to have a reputation among the gossips and whisperers of your workplace or family or church that if you want to talk about people or try to whisper or bring up division or complain about somebody, that you're the wrong person to talk to. People will respect you for that. Even the whisperer themselves. They may be having a bad day. They maybe know they shouldn't act that way. And then when you tell them no, that's a check on them. And they realize, you know what? I shouldn't be doing that either. You set the tone. You be the one that puts a stop to that kind of thing. Don't listen to a whisperer. Look out for that person. Know that they're out there. And only in the rarest of circumstances do you really need to listen to it. And in a very small percentage of those circumstances, do you need to actually do something about it. Be the one like Christ for you who covers flaws and covers sin. That's what love does. And give the person a chance to move on. And it starts by not listening to the whisperers. God bless you all.